Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your morning flash update for this Wednesday, the 30th of October, 2019. A snowy day in Chicago. Our suburbs, 1 to 3 inches of snow. The city getting hit, but mostly because we're on the lake, a little bit warmer. Tomorrow's Halloween, remember that. Got a lot going on today, too. FOMC day today at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and then followed after that will be the press conference. So the market's trying to figure out what to do. You have a little bit of a bid in the metals today. Copper giving back a shade of all the gains that it's been making, and it's been having a heck of a run. In the stock indices, I think the market is trying to figure out today. Obviously, you've got a lot of earnings still coming out. Apple, I think Facebook is today too. So you've got big numbers coming out at you. Then what you're looking at is what the currencies want to do with all this, because does the dollar go up, down, or not after the Fed announces the probability of another quarter point cut, and then try to somehow use the wording that the market is still there, but the Fed thinks those insurance cuts may not be needed right now. So basically what they're going to do is take the food away from the dog or the cat, whatever you own, and those animals don't like that. So we'll see the response there. Energy markets were waiting on the EIA number. The API numbers were very friendly yesterday, big draws. Then in the grain markets, as you know, we're in the harvest point, so you got to be careful there. Short covering probably going on after the big break we've had in the bonds and notes in the future section. So as I look at the day's activity, we had the third quarter advanced GDP come out today, and the number came in at 1.9%. Now that's a win. The market had looked for a 1.6 number, so that's better. The final report was 2%, as we know. The chain-weighted index, 1.7. The market expected 2.4. That's where you drop away in the marketplace. So you get one good, you get one bad. Then we looked at PCE price index, only up 1.5. Final report was 2.4, 2.2% in the core PCE. The Fed watches that, so that gives them a little bit of cover there. Personal consumption, we know that was down. We've been watching those numbers slip. You can see where you're at there. ADP number. Well, the first number, the October number, is much better than the expected 100,000. They go back in September and they take it away from you because they say they only gathered 93,000 when they redid the numbers versus the 135 first reported. Then in the mortgage indexes and where you're at with that. And this represents how the refinancing and new purchases are going. Interest rates are low enough where these numbers are still holding up nicely. Then we look at the Eurozone. Consumer confidence came in a negative 7.6. The estimate was just there. September's reading was a negative 6.5. So it's getting worse, not better there. Same in industrial confidence, same in service confidence. You're slipping in these numbers, so that's not great. Germany, though, was a bright spot because if you look, their preliminary CPI was plus 0.1%. They were looking for it to be flat. Mexico's preliminary third quarter GDP showed 1/10 of a gain from the second quarter 2019, where it was down 0.4. And here's the big one. Let me step back. I don't want to be wrong on this. According to sources, Chinese negotiators are now reluctant to commit to large and timed purchases of U.S. agriculture goods in the current round of the trade talks. So what keeps going on here, and I think you have to understand, is as they keep going on and you keep hearing all of a sudden out of left field, White House said yesterday, well, we may not be able to sign the deal November 16th, this phase one. Now you're beginning to understand. Pieces are coming out at you. Don't know if we're anywhere on this. This is like Brexit. It comes, it goes, you don't know where you're at. Bank of Canada left its key interest rate unchanged, but I think these are problematic. Getting the Chinese to actually sign a piece of paper that says what we think they've said in negotiations, and maybe because it's all put out there in the press, maybe everybody should be quiet and finish up the deal might be the right way to go with this. Today is going to be the last day that you can look at the special report that I did put out on the 24th on the S&P. They last 5 business days, and then they automatically come off the website. I just checked. It is still there. So if you want to take a look at it, I think it's as good as the day I wrote it. you might want to take a look at that because I'm giving you ideas as to where the seasonals come in, how the market goes into the end of December, often in the S&P, telling you where you're at right now, price counts as to where the market is going to have the first resistance, and that works out pretty neat too. So how do you take a look? Well, go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. Under the word research, you'll see it right there. The metal report's already gone, and as I said, these are only 5 days at a time. You can click up here. If you see this icon, it'll take you right where you have to go as well. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll see you in the afternoon with our end of the day wrap-ups. There's an awful lot to digest. Today should be an exciting day. Take care.